What's up, y'all? This is Husker Hype Radio. Make sure to listen and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Husker Hype Radio.
Here we go, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 22 of the Husker Hype Radio podcast. Nebraska lost big.
45-7. Tough day to be a Husker. We were the butt of a lot of jokes, a lot of momentum, a lot of buzz around the game going into it. We normally start with how my week went at the game, Eddie, but I want to hear how the stream went overall. How was it? First quarter, second quarter in the game?
Dude, I mean, there was just a lot of things. I don't know. I think the world was against Nebraska and against a lot of just, I don't know, dude. We started off, I did the stream by myself. The boys are in Indonesia surfing right now. Nobody here to help me out on the stream. My computer, I spilled Fireball on it 2 weeks ago. Now my speakers don't even work. I'm on the phone right now trying to get this thing done. Just a lot of shit. But game-wise, I mean, first quarter, it just couldn't have got worse, man. Luke Gifford gets absolutely mossed by one of their wide receivers. Next drive, Nebraska goes out and interception like 3 plays in. Next 2 plays, Michigan gets the ball scored. They're up 14-0, and that just absolutely took the momentum out of the game for Nebraska. It probably had to take the momentum, the energy out of the whole stadium, I imagine. Fuck, it's the number 2 team in the country, but being down 14-0 with 7 minutes into the game, and you're like, how do we ever recover from this? And then quarter 2 through 4, just kind of the same old shit. Nothing really special, just a good old-fashioned ass whooping, I feel like, by Michigan against Nebraska.
Yeah, everything you said there is correct, Ed. The buzz was hype before the game. Everybody's lit up, number 2 team in the nation. But we think Nebraska's going to give them a fight. The stats on our defense are good. Our running offense is good. It's going to be a good old classic Big Ten matchup. Barstool Sports is there trying to get some buzz around the game. And you're right, Eddie. I was telling Mackenzie before the game who I went with, I was like, if we just keep this a game like until the fourth quarter, it's a toss-up. We could win this shit. The crowd's loud. The first drive when they're on offense, honestly, their first 2 drives, we were pretty loud. And then once they went up 14-0, like you said, 7 minutes into the game, it was like everybody was looking left and right. And they're like, oh, are we going to fucking score? I was like, how is this game going to go? People were clearing out already when it was 14-0 first quarter.
Are you serious?
There was people leaving in the first quarter. And then halftime, there was like, I was looking around. I'm like, there's half the stadium still here, and the people that aren't here right now are not coming back. And then it was just all downhill from there.
Dude, I mean, how much longer is Big Red Faithful going to be Big Red Faithful, man? You know, we come in and week out, sell the stadium out, get 80,000 plus in there. And then things happen like this. Yeah, they're the number 2 team in the nation. But if we don't even stick with them, then all these people that are driving from Western Nebraska, from wherever in the nation to come watch the Huskers, and that happens, it's just demoralizing. And it's how much more can this fan base take? How much, like you said, you just keep it close to the fourth quarter. Was I expecting us to beat the shit out of Michigan? No. But was I expecting Michigan to beat the shit out of us? No. And it's just offense, defense, both played horrifically. They just got the best of us on both sides of the ball, man.
And what you said was pretty true there, Ed. And the one of the main takeaways that I saw was, I don't want to say the boys gave up, but I do, and Coach Rule said this in a press conference, he fears that the team didn't keep the fight throughout the whole game. Like, we kind of were just like, all right, well, we're already down X amount of scores. Like at this point, who gives a fuck? And that's what you don't want to see.
I mean, some injuries, some big ones. I mean, you know, Luke Reimer didn't even play the game. It was his shoulder, but then he had some sort of infection. Did Buddy like go out to the bars last night and get with a nasty one at 2 a.m.?
The rumor has it is that he just like felt weird, like had some pains, and then they just sent him to the hospital on precautions.
So he's sent to the hospital. I mean, second play of the game, the Sean Singleton gets out. Not good. And so now we have Phelan Sanford, a guy who's played for Nebraska forever, and he's just a little Nebraska farm kid who did his best, but just not the defense that we saw in these first 4 games. I mean,
Uh-huh.
we gave up 45 points, man. And you want to talk about the defense or the offense first?
Which you go ahead, whichever one.
I mean, let's just get on the defense. 0 sacks again this game. A lot of missed tackles in the secondary. I feel like JJ McCarthy had a day. He was 12 for 16, 156 yards. Not like the biggest numbers, but when he was throwing the ball, he did it with ease, I feel like. And there a lot of those pass plays were big pass plays that kind of sucked the life out of the defense. Third downs or 15 plus yards that, we hold them on and then they just boom, hit one like that and now it's like fuck.
Uh-huh.
You
And
know,
in Michigan's offense, that's what their whole game plan was. They were just methodical. They they had a few handful of big plays, but most of their stuff was just like running the ball, getting
yeah.
like 7, 8 yards, third downs. It was like not even a question that they weren't going to get a first down on those third down conversions and shit. It's just long drawn out drives by them just wore our defense down.
Yes, that's a great word, methodical. They just really were. It was almost like this was a practice against, their third stringers where they're just going to run their plays and kind of practice them and do exactly what they want to do. I mean, I feel like all the runs got to the second level. I rewatched the game today and tortured myself. And I didn't even really feel bad about it. I was just like, yeah, this is what happened. Because, sometimes Ed likes to have a few drinky poos and almost kind of forgets about the game. So I had to rewatch it. And it was just what I remembered of what I did remember. Just a good old fashioned ass whooping, man.
Yep.
I mean, let's they are the number 2 team in the country, but I don't think that should be an excuse that we lose that much to them.
Yeah.
Is
Sorry
there,
if I,
is there noises?
I thought Stanley just threw up next to me. I think he just had a cough.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean Michigan, their O line just they
Yeah,
made our D line their children.
that was
You
another
know,
thing I wanted to touch on. I mean, you watch the game, dude, and like you said, they get to the second level a lot of their runs. The line of scrimmage, bro. It was like it was boys versus men out there a lot of the time, man. They were just having their way with us. One example, I didn't rewatch the whole game. I didn't have time, but the highlight on the Heinrich 4th and 1 out of the shotgun. The O line has zero push. Heinrich tries to jump over the line, and we're going on a shotgun on 4th and 1 to make it 14-7. We end up not getting it. It's just a cluster there, Ed.
I mean, and that could change the whole game right there, dude. If we get that 4th and 1 and end up scoring, it's not Michigan scores the next and it's 21-0. It's 14-7. And that just changes the game completely right there. But we run shotgun out of 4th and 1, and Heinrich, for some reason, tries to jump over 6 feet guys. And also, who do we think we are running up the middle when Michigan has 8 guys in the box? Do we really think? I mean, let's be real here. We're not going to beat those guys one on one. Let's do a little speed option play to the outside or something if we're going to go from shotgun.
Yeah.
That's just a play call I didn't understand. I didn't understand what Harbaugh did right there. Great kind of transition into the offense. Aaron, you wrote on our notes here, does Satterfield suck?
I mean, it's the broken record of Aaron. I've said it week in, week out. What the fuck's going on with our offensive scheme? Um, One thing that Coach Rule, I don't know if Coach Rule said it, but one of the guys in the coaching staff was like, the offense has no identity. Like, what's going on? Who are we? What are we going to identify ourselves throughout the rest of the year? Because it sucks. We lost 2 of our running backs. We carried the ball 21 times for 106 yards against Michigan. and 74 of those came on that one carry by Joshua Fleeks for that touchdown. If we don't get those 74 yards right there, dude, we're only rushing for 30 yards. Heinrich
That's a
Harbaugh
stat.
carried Heinrich Harbaugh carried the ball 9 times for -2 yards. We're used to seeing him over 50, 60 yards rushing.
Yeah, Anthony Grant only 6 carries. I don't know what that was about. Almost, I feel like maybe the Matt Rule talks about the players giving up, but did the coaching staff go, you know what? Let's not even. We have only one Anthony Grant. And then it's Josh Fleeks after that. Do we just try to do something else? And coming down 14-0, you can't really play your game. I think that we passed the ball a lot more. Heinrich did better than how he has been passing. A lot more guys had touches at receiver, but that just wasn't good enough. This Michigan defense kind of both sides. It was boys versus men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Harburg, 14 completions, 25 attempts, 199 yards, QBR of 35. It's the same thing we talk about with the passing offense. We don't really have. And who are our receivers? Who are our weapons? Our main guys, Billy Kemp, full reception, 61 yards. Marcus Washington had a reception for 56. I mean, it's just like we don't really. I don't know, man. What do you think, Ed? What's your opinion on that?
The offensive identity, bro. I don't know if we're gonna find one this whole year, to be honest with you. Not really any huge playmakers. Yeah, Billy Kemp, he's good, but if he was on Michigan, what would he be? The second or third or maybe even fourth best receiver on that team? I love Billy Kemp, but it's just kind of these guys that we have. IGC out, no Xavier Betts, two of our running backs out, and now we're just kind of playing with. I don't want to say that these guys suck, but it's it's just not the playmakers that we're used to having, or at least having at least one playmaker on the team that can, break one loose. This offense, I feel like, is going to have to unify under their not mediocrity, but under like their. It's
I
hard
think
to find.
they just need to identify what we're good at, which right now is running the ball, and also being because we said what was going to happen, Eddie. They're going to stack the box, and at first they didn't have to do that too much because they could get pressure with 4 guys, 5 guys, whatever it was. But they're going to stack the box, force us to throw it. That was the most Harburg's throwing the ball all season. He threw 25 times. Like it's just pretty obvious what they want us to make us do because we're pretty one dimensional. And once they did that, it was game over.
Yep. Yeah, they really did make us one dimensional, and I I don't think that Satterfield sucks. I don't think that he does. I think that it's more personnel issues. It all starts up front with the offensive line, and if they're only having to rush 3, 4 guys, and they get back there and pressure Harbaugh and make plays behind the line of scrimmage, then what can you do as an offensive play caller, man? If nothing is working, then what do you do as an offensive play caller? Down 21 points early in the second quarter, it's just kind of let's fucking see what works, dude.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why you like to see a guy like Joshua Fleeks get a carry. I think he was listed as a wide receiver. He's a senior transfer from Baylor. I think at this point, Ed, it's about just showing improvement and like figuring out, trying things, seeing what works, figuring things out, getting guys opportunities that like maybe not have had a chance because at this point we don't, what I'm saying, like the people that are our
I don't
starters,
I don't think this is the end of the world for the season, though.
right?
We did play Michigan. They did kick our ass. But now, these next few games, this is probably the easiest Big Ten schedule we'll ever have going forward in the history of Big Ten schedules.
Yep.
I mean, let's put that game past us. We lost against
Bury the
Michigan.
tape. Bury the tape.
We're 2-3. Now we got Illinois on Friday. We play on Friday, which I didn't even know, dude. I forgot about that. So we get to see our Huskers, our beloved Huskers, the team that I love and I will love and support forever. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love this team. Gosh darn it. We got Illinois, Northwestern, Purdue, Michigan State. Those 4 games, very attainable games. And if we win those four, that's 6-6. That's bowl game, baby. You know? And then Maryland, Wisconsin, Iowa. Maryland and Wisconsin, probably the two toughest ones. And then Iowa today just lost Cade McNamara.
Yep.
But I mean, honestly, did Cade McNamara do anything to even help that offense? I feel like it was still good old fashioned Brian Ferentz doesn't know how to do anything on offense.
Yeah, I think that he was a better option, obviously, between the two. But I think you're right. At this point, it doesn't really matter because it's Brian Ferentz. Illinois, this game at Illinois on Friday is huge.
This is
This is a huge
a
game.
must win.
This is must win.
This is a must win, and it's against a team who struggles as well too. We got the same record, lost to all the Power Five teams that they played: Purdue, Penn State, and Kansas, and none of those games were pretty for Illinois either.
No.
Their wins weren't pretty also against Toledo and Florida Atlantic, one by 2 against Toledo, one by 6 against Florida Atlantic. I mean, struggled against those guys. And I think that in the non-conference aspect, we beat Illinois in that. So now it all comes down to who wants to fucking win more is what it is, bud. In Champaign on Friday, who wants to win more and who's got the dog in them still?
Yeah, and Illinois, they're not really a great team overall. Their defense is suspect. I think we can we can move the ball against them. I hope our defense shows up. I hope the boys are flying around. Um I I don't get how we're a 3.5 point underdog, Eddie. Vegas is
Yeah,
giving me money.
yeah, me neither. I know. And I think we already know who we picked both for this game. It's plus 3.5 Nebraska. I mean, it is in Champaign, and we have lost the last two against them. But this is not the team that we were so hyped up about in this offseason. It's a different team, and I really hope that they're not the team that we were scared about. We circled this game on the schedule, and now hey, it's still circled, but we got to fucking win, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, defense suspect, most rush yards allowed in the Big Ten, 179 yards game. That's great for Nebraska. That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And then 12th in passing yards. So these guys are bottom of the barrel for both Big Ten stats on defense. And hopefully that we can exploit that. Do we see Jeff Sims back this week?
That's a question that's buzzing around the program right now. I think if if both players are fully healthy, I think you start Harburg. I think
Yeah.
you start Harburg, but I think that you could see both guys play depending on how the game goes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what do we have better than when Jeff Sims goes in the game? Other than what does Jeff Sims have better than Harburg at this point?
Right.
I feel
That
like he's the better runner. Sims might have the advantage on him passing, but then also not. Harburg has one interception. That one wasn't really his fault, tipped at the line.
yeah,
And
Harburg's had two, and both of them were like him getting hit and then him getting batted down at the line.
yeah, so I like Harburg still. I assume that he starts on Friday. I just think that this offense we can't get one dimensional. We can't go down quick. And if we bring it to them on the first drive, then it's go time, man. What I've realized, I think all these games, every coin toss we've won, we've kicked the ball off. We want to get the ball in second half and have our defense kind of show out and set the tone. And if the defense does that, this first series against Illinois, if it goes accordingly, and we do win the toss and Illinois, I think that would be good for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I'm Illinois, I'm going to pass the ball a lot on offense, and try to dissect the boys that way. But I think we win this game. I know we win this game. We're going to win this game.
We do win this game.
We're winning this game.
Yeah, man. We were saying, Michigan, Nebraska, it's going to be like the scariest movie in the world, and it was just not the way that we expected it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was basically Michigan was Michael Myers and Nebraska was the people getting murdered by Michael Myers. Hopefully, this time around, we're Michael Myers.
It's
We
spooky
go
season
in,
officially. It's now October officially.
yeah. So, I mean, we could, I think this is what turns Matt Rule's first year around right here, win against Illinois. And I mean, dude, the Big Ten is getting better and better every season. And if we don't start, I don't care if this is Matt Rule's first year. I don't care about how we need to have patience. We need to start winning games, and we need to do it right now this
Mhm.
week against Illinois, man.
Yeah.
And
And
take full advantage of this schedule.
exactly. And that's what I was about to say, Eddie, because you've already mentioned it once. This is the easiest our schedule is going to be for the rest of our lives in the Big Ten. And if we can finish 6-6 or even like 9-3, that'd be
Hey, don't
icing on
put
the
it past
cake.
my Spurs, bro. Don't put it past my Spurs, dude. I think that these guys could go 9-3. Maryland's at home. Maryland's at home. That'd be good, dude. Imagine 4-0 against these first four teams, then Maryland at home. Lots of momentum. 5-0 in the middle of the season. Then we have to go to Camp Randall, but still, we got the momentum, baby. We got the momentum. And then Iowa at home. Dude, that's nine. That's a 9-3 fucking team. We're down right now. We look back at this podcast
Yeah.
and we go,
And this will be the true test of Coach Rule and the staff and even the student athletes of buying into the program of, yeah, this has happened. This is what's been going on. But if you look forward and they pitch it how we just pitched it and the boys respond in a positive manner, dude, that's gonna be sick for even next year. And bowl season, because the Big Ten West, it's open, dude. At this point, it's still anybody's game.
you're right. You're right. I think Maryland's the best looking team. They're undefeated. They have Ohio State this week. But still, dude, I fucking love Big Red and let me drink that Roulade, baby.
Mhm.
Give me all the fucking corn juice, dude. I'm still now. I'm fired up for Friday. It's a Monday. Get me fired up for Friday, dude. We're going in and winning this fucking game. I know it. I know it. I can't wait.
I agree, Ed.
Um, do we want to get quick here? I think the day after we recorded the last podcast, Nebraska announced stadium renovations. How do you feel about that? I think that we might have some different takes on this, and so let's just give a little rundown. I mean, Nebraska, Trev Alberts announced that he is sending a plan to the Board of Regents, which would uh, put a huge renovation on Memorial Stadium, like $500 million renovation. I
Yeah,
think it's
some
450 million, but it's always going to be more than what the estimated cost is. So it's going to have a 360-degree concourse on the bottom level, a 270-degree on the top level, tearing down the whole south end of the stadium. No more grandfathered season tickets. Taking away 15K seats and putting seat backs so it's a more comfortable experience for the fans. I think that that's the biggest thing. We can talk about all the nice amenities that are going to happen, possibly no more troughs, which is atrocious. But the biggest thing is this minus 10, 15K seats. What do you think about that, Aaron?
I on paper, you're upset. You're like, yo,
Yeah.
Nebraska is known for having a lot of fans at the games, 90,000 strongs, as we like to say most of the time here at Husker Hype Radio.
Yeah.
But if you look back before 99, before the last renovation, we were at what, 75,000 or something like that, somewhere between
Yeah.
75 and 80. And it does hurt to go down the rankings of highest capacity stadiums, but I still think that'll be good for us to, and I hate to say this, Eddie, it'll be good for the sellout streak. It'll close it a little bit actually more because of the way the stadiums be
Yeah.
shaped a little bit.
They're
It's
going to
still
build
gonna
it
be
up.
loud. Yeah, it's still gonna be loud. It's going to be nice. And as far as it's just nice to have a nice stadium. I mean, it's going to be top notch facilities. It's going to be reasons for kids to want to come here and fans to kind of want to come to games. Another downside though is ticket prices are already pretty expensive. They're some of the highest in the nation, and that's probably going to stay the same, if not get higher.
Well, and then yeah, I do 75,000 strong sounds a lot worse than 90,000 strong.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably the biggest part that sucks. So I agree with you. And I thought that you'd be a little more pissed, but I think that we're on the same page where, you know, it just that number sucks. But I do think that it will be better. I do think it will be louder. We're moving the students back into the south end zone, so and the band, so that it will all be them at once, and that fucking sound will travel this way instead of like into the corner. So just give the students a better experience and that. But then there's going to be 2 seasons, I think, where we won't even have a fucking south end zone, dude.
Yeah. So 2025 for sure. And they're already saying count your lucky stars at 2026. Those 2 years, we will not have a south end zone. So that's like 20,000 seats right there. So that'll put us at like 60,000.
Yeah. So, I mean, your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Worsfold, South End Zone Stadium season ticket holders, they're in the very back row, right? And
Yeah,
that
they're row 99.
they love that spot. What do they think about this, dude?
I actually broke the news to them when they were on vacation in San Diego. I called them and I was like, "Did you guys hear that the south end zone's getting demolished?" And they're like, "I feel like I was just telling them somebody died."
No.
I
Because
felt
where are
I
they going to have to sit, dude? They're
I
not going to have a place to sit.
see they're so like Trevin, there's like a lot of hearsay what's going to happen, but they're going to figure it out and how to allocate them at other parts of the stadium. Another big thing, like you said, is the grandfathering. A lot of people have had season tickets for like decades and decades and decades, and they're
Yeah.
paying whatever price they're paying, and that will no longer be a thing. And that's surprising because my dad said that his season tickets were cheaper this year than they were last year for Husker football.
Interesting. Um, yeah, man. I mean, that is just going to be well. It hasn't been approved by the Board of Regents, though. You know, like that's the thing. Also, where this is all getting talked about, it probably will be,
Yeah, I
but
think it
they
will be.
few changes on maybe the capacity or something like that. Um, but yeah, that's just going to be pretty interesting. The South End Zone being demolished for a season, how that will all look and
Yeah,
turn out.
because that won't be this whole project won't be done until 2027. What year is it? It's 2023. That's 4 years from now, dude. I'll be 30 by the time that's done.
No, that's nuts. I mean, probably when it's all said and done, it's going to be amazing, and fans will be like, "Oh, okay, all right, yeah, this is sick."
Yeah. And
But
I heard a guy, a Husker football talk show guy, talking. The main things Nebraska has, because football aside, we haven't been great the last whatever 15 years, whatever. The things that Nebraska does have is a sick stadium and a passionate fan base. And we've already talked about this. Our fan base is kind of getting a little older, Ed. A lot of kids my age currently are in college, younger than I am. They don't know Husker football like true diehard Husker football fans know them in the 90s, early 2000s, and even before that, when we were a good ass football team. A lot of kids are leaving early. A lot of kids don't have that fire in their stomach. And that's kind of scary to think about by 2027. What's the landscape of our fan base going to look like?
I'm getting goose. Yeah, dude. I mean, unless you were a little freak like me in fifth grade and watched the '95 Nebraska national championship game and fucking researched Tom Osborne and wrote every school paper on Nebraska, you're probably not like Big Red Ed. You're probably not fucking as. I mean, our hypesters, yes, they are. By the way, 300 followers on Husker Hype Radio Instagram. Holy shit, folks! And you know what? It's gonna be 300,000 before you even know it. That's awesome. That was a good part of this weekend was we finally reached 300 followers. I think Connor Moose was our 300 follower actually.
Wow. Thank you, Connor.
Yeah. Um But yeah, I mean, unless you research fucking 95 Nebraska or the 90s of Nebraska, then yeah, these kids don't know, bro. And you said, I think you texted me during the game. You said student section already clearing out, and it wasn't even halftime, right?
Yeah, I can't remember what the score was. I want to say like 28-0 right before half, and like there was like droves of people are leaving the game. I wouldn't say like the stadium was like I don't want to say half full, but like somewhere between like 50 and 65% full after halftime.
Wow, wow, yeah, but I mean, if you're talking about any other team in the nation and you say we're down 28-0 at half to the number 2 team in the nation, then you go, okay, that's reasonable. But being it big red country, it is still a little shocking. But given that it's a younger fan base, then what do you, we have to produce on the field, man. And
Yeah,
that's going to be even bigger coming up with a bigger and better Big Ten every single year. And if we keep falling behind, then the Big Ten's just going to keep getting better, dude. And we're going to be the fucking Rutgers of the Big Ten if we don't switch things up pretty fast here.
yeah,
I
yep,
hate to say it, but that's what it's going to be. So this stadium renovation, I think, will be good. Matt Rule needs to turn it around quicker than I think that he wants it to happen. But that being said, also we're going 9-3 this year, but so it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be
yeah.
okay.
It's gonna be fine.
Um, picks.
Picks week 6.
I'm not doing too hot, bud.
Yeah, I went 4-2 in Big Ten play, but then I went 5-5 overall. Eddie, you went 3-7 last week overall. But this is the week where we can redeem ourselves, and we redeem that with the first game of the week, Friday, Nebraska at Illinois. Eddie, I've already said my pick, and I think I have a feeling what you're going to say. What's your pick here?
I said it too, dude. Vegas, give me that free money, dude.
Free
Give me that
money.
if you want. If you really want to put my guys down like that, then I will gladly take your money, Vegas.
Yeah,
Let's
I
go.
I think Nebraska's going to win this game money lines. So, next game, Purdue at
Wait, hold
Iowa.
on. Score of the Nebraska Illinois
Oh,
game.
yeah, let's write that down. I think we can ring like 27. I think it's going to be like 17-27.
17-27. I like that. I was gonna go like more a little less 23-17. I like 23-17. My prediction last time, Alvano gets the game winning field goal 14-17. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, we forgot to talk about
Alvano's
him.
got some jitters, brother. He's got the leg, but he doesn't have the accuracy. I mean, he missed the field goal again this game, a 40-yarder. And I think that Matt Rule's still behind him, but he's got to figure it out back there, man.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't make any sense because he made like a couple of 50+ yarders in his championship game in high school, and he's a true freshman. So you're just like, is the moment too big for him? He's still young. You got to give him time to develop. But yeah, you're right, Ed. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, buddy, you're on scholarship. Put the fucking ball through the uprights.
yeah, in this press conference, Matt Rule said he's just like the rest of us. I mean, yeah, he's a freshman, but at the end of the day, you're a Nebraska football player. You got to make these field goals, man. This you're in the Big Ten conference, make some field goals. And I don't know when we'll see Timmy. I feel like we give Alvano 2 more field goals, dude. And if he misses both of those, then Timmy's back in.
We'll see. We'll see. Next game, Purdue at Iowa. Iowa's 2.5 point favorites over under 40.5.
What do you have?
I have the under of 40.5.
Okay, you have under 40 and a half. I am gonna go Purdue plus 2.5.
Nice.
Uh, Purdue
Next
plus.
next game, Maryland at Ohio State. 19.5 point favorites. Ohio State are over under 56. I have Maryland plus 19.5.
I do too.
Kept Maryland can score the ball. Next game, Rutgers at Wisconsin. Minus 14 for Wisconsin, over under 46.5.
I'm going the over on this one, Aaron.
The
I get
over.
the over.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going Rutgers plus 14. They haven't fucked me too hard yet this season. I'm going Rutgers plus 14.
Okay.
Michigan Wolverines minus 20 and a half at Minnesota, over under
Those
47.
guys. Those guys. Who do you got?
I have the over. I would love to just do Michigan minus 20 and a half just because I think they can do it, but I'm going the safe over.
Yeah, dude. Minnesota has not been performing after their. Dude, not looking good, bro. Lost to Northwestern. They squeaked by Louisiana this week. Um, Michigan spread.
Nice. Out of conference play here. Let's start in the SEC. I have Kentucky at Georgia. I went with the over 47 and a half.
Kentucky and Georgia over 47.5. Okay. Kentucky looked they fucked me up. I picked Florida to beat them, and Kentucky just gave Florida an absolute ass whooping.
Mhm.
I have LSU at Missouri. I got Missouri plus 6.5. That's what I got.
Nice.
I think Missouri
Uh
does good at home.
yeah, and Missouri's undefeated. That's a sneaky team over there in the SEC there.
Yeah,
Um I'll go Big 12. That's who I have next. I got UCF at Kansas. Kansas, I'm getting them with the points minus 2.
I have that as well, Aaron. I have that as well.
Oh, damn it. Pac-12. I've been riding Wazoo all year. I'm sticking with them. I got Wazoo plus 3.5 at UCLA.
Wazoo is Washington State.
Yeah.
Washington let me down last weekend, dude. So I'm not doing Washington this time. I got Oregon State at Cal minus 10, Oregon State. And
Minus,
then ACC is the last one, right?
yes, sir. You said minus 10 at Cal?
Yeah, minus 10, Oregon State has
Yep.
the spread.
ACC, our last one. Go ahead and take it away, Ed.
Wake Forest at Clemson. Last year, Wake Forest almost damn near beat these folks, but they don't have Sam Hartman anymore. Spread still 21 for Clemson, so I'm going plus 21 Wake Forest.
That great minds think like Eddie because I also have Wake Forest 21. That's too many points. Clemson's not a good football team anymore.
Dude, they're not the Clemson of the past, dude. They're not the Clemson of the past.
Anything else you want to add here before we have week 6 slate here?
I mean, I just want to say, man, that uh, I don't think this season is going to turn out as bad as it is. Really, we could have been, dude. If we beat Minnesota and we're 3-2, how much different this whole season looks, and how much a lot more the fan base I feel like has confidence for the next rest of the season. But we've talked about it, dude. This schedule, very attainable schedule to win 6 games, and Matt Rule in his first year needs to take advantage of the schedule, and he does. And Nebraska goes 9-3, dude. We go 9-3, bud.
Yeah.
Is it going to be next year coming in? I think it's a fraudulent 9-3. I don't think that even if we win all these games, we're not a 9-3 football team, but somehow we do it, and
Yeah.
we're not as good as all the other 9-3 teams, but we do go 9-3 and we
Yeah.
win.
Or even just have us in the conversation for like the Big Ten West toward the end of the year. If we're 1-1 right now, like every other team in the Big Ten West, that just makes our season and outlooks look so much different than all the shit people are talking on us. Um, The highlight of my weekend, though, Eddie, was when I was driving home from Lincoln, Nebraska. I get a couple phone calls from Eddie. I pick up the phone. I could just tell he's been drinking that Fireball, trying to drink his sorrows away. He's like, Aaron, I fucking love you, dude. 9-3. We're going 9-3. And I was like, dude, keep your head up, pal. We're gonna get through this. If you don't like us now, then don't fucking be with us when we're winning championships. All
That's
right.
right. That's right. This is a great time to hop on the fucking wagon, dude, because it's got a couple of wheels that are loose. But on the Oregon Trail, we fix it up and we go all the way. We go all the way. We head west and we settle down in fucking Newport Beach, baby.
Amen,
That's what it
brother.
is. Dude, I was on I was pretty liquored up, I'm not gonna lie. And I went on the dude, I went on this on my one of my buddy's boats and I had the corn suit on and people were just firing me up, dude. I still had my corn suit on, like doing a little Duffy ride, basically, a little harbor cruise. And people were all about the corn suit. So I think that the whole nation is behind Nebraska. At least people down here in Orange County. Fuck Michigan. Fuck Minnesota. Fuck Colorado. Go Big Red. Bleed red shit corn. That was another episode, man. Episode 22. We love you guys. Get us
Go
to
Big
400
Red.
followers. Bang.
Bang. Bang.